In a time where everything is fast-paced and we rarely get time to reflect and grow as people, this channel's ethos is to help us do this while promoting that walk with Christ. So join me, beautiful people, and let's grow together. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Fullness of Philly. I am glad to be back. Honestly, I appreciate you guys' love and support. Listen, I'm there with you guys, like literally. I wanted to talk, once everything has calmed down just a tad, just a tiny bit. With the whole George Floyd thing, the racism, then the protests. It's understandable why we feel this kind of way. We feel oppressed, right? All these protests are really great, right? They promote a certain level of change. They really stand for the rights. They really bring attention to the fact. But sometimes it's difficult because it's now like we're trying to break cycles that have already been so deep. They're so deeply rooted, so institutionalized that it's not that change cannot happen, but because it's widespread, has all the way back from slavery times, because it's so far back, it's kind of hard to start, peeling back from the front. It's kind of difficult, right? Really thinking about, okay, well, what is the solution to this, right? What's the next best thing? To be honest, it's not even the next best thing. It's like the real thing, how we can really change. The change should stem from our minds, right? Our ways of thinking, because that's where the real change starts, right? If you didn't know, I'm 22. So in the near future, people like me will have kids or have already had kids. We can instill greatness in their minds. What we should do is train the younger ones to become different, not have the same ideologies as the older generation, because it's crazy how destructive it can be. A community that has a particular skewed mindset can disrupt generations and generations and generations. Like, just people having a certain type of mindset and colonizing different countries and dominating has created a gravity of destruction within the whole world. There's nowhere in the world that you say that, okay, well, everybody's equal. No, it's so sad when you think about it, because to be honest, racism don't make no sense, really, because we all bleed the same. When we cut and oxygen hits the skin, right, it's all red, we all bleed the same. So it's crazy to think that pigmentation, because it's even in white people, right, there's different shades of white. There's not just one it's not just one shade. In black people there's different shades. In brown people there's different shades. So the fact that somebody's thinking that a particular skin color determines, think about it, the fact that people think that a particular skin color determines your worth, is crazy, because the organs still work the same. You walk, you talk like the next person, the only difference is the pigments in your skin. But people have made it into a system where it's almost brainwashing. There's only so much we can do for the older generation, because they already have a particular mindset. It's gonna be harder for us to be like, okay, well, stop thinking the way you've been thinking for 50 odd years. It's going to be quite difficult. But what we can do is to train people that are younger, train them to have a better mindset. Do you know why I always promote living your life with Christ? It's because when you do that, you have a set of principles, you have a set of morals, a set of code and conducts that you live by. And when you live by them, it's almost unlikely that you're gonna get, unless you're not living it right, you're not really true to it, it's unlikely that you're gonna get swindled and think you're superior to other people and egotistical and selfish, because then you're not living according to the word of God, according to Christ. So I promote to live our lives where we're always growing, we're always developing, we're always trying to be better than we were yesterday. If we continue living our lives the way we have lived it, and you know, people continue being so self-centered, being so prideful, and being so you know, egotistical and arrogant. Our world, the way it is now, is just gonna get worse, utterly worse, and it's gonna be crazy because there's not gonna be anyone to really, there's gonna be no level of moderation. I'm telling you now. Even the police officer that stepped on his neck of George, he was living a life of Christ. He wouldn't have done that. He really wouldn't have, because for one, it goes against the conduct of the Bible. You want to treat people how you want to be treated. You want on someone to step on your neck because of $20. You know, it don't even make no sense if you really think about it. If you look at it properly, right, he was told to get off the neck of George so many times by other people around, right? And they were screaming at him. They were shouting at him, you know, get off his neck. He can't breathe. Da, 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 all of that. But because of pride, he didn't get off the neck, because he had them. He probably knew that the pressure he would, you know, he knows the pressure he's putting on someone's neck, right? But because he's probably thinking, rah, like, I can't, people are watching me now. They're even recording for me to take my leg off his neck. I don't know about that. You know, and he didn't probably think that his actions would have led to the guy's death, you know. But you see where pride can take somebody. If he was just selfless, if he was even just sensible, I'd be doing such things in such a rough manner, because you'd want to consider the fact that this is a human life that I am dragging like this. You know, this is somebody who could potentially have kids. And the thing is, when you act out and you're not just affecting you. The police officer now has to worry about his family, because they're no longer safe, you know, because I'm pretty sure some people know who he is and who his father, his mother is. His wife even wasn't safe. She had to divorce him. It's just crazy the domino effect it has on people. This is why I promote to live a life which is suited to Christ, because when you do that, you're always guided, you're always protected. And even if you're unsure about a situation, how you should handle the situation, if you ask for God's protection and God's guidance, I am telling you, I'm not even 90% sure, I am 100% sure that if you really ask and you seek that knowledge, you will get it. You will get it, because you're not seeking from your own strength. We cannot do everything ourselves. That's what I want us to really understand. Sometimes it's difficult, yes, if you have not, you know, had Christ in your life. It's difficult to understand what I'm saying, because it's just like, okay, well, realistically, I've never heard God in my life. Now you're telling me that yes, I can hear him. But if you're really seeking that connection, I'm telling you, you can hear him. You can hear God. And thus we can alleviate some of these barbaric traits, you know, and change the next generation from the inside out. We can start with ourselves, and then you know, influence the younger ones, influence our little cousins and our little niece and our little nephews to be better, and to have greater mindsets, and be just a generation, upcoming generation, which is more harmonious, like which are more considerate and which are more selfless. Because the way we are going, honestly, it is terrible. It's scary. It's actually scary to think that in a few years, the way we are all living our life in a, you know, it's like a dog eats dog, you know, society, and where nobody cares about their community, nobody cares about their brother, their sister, everybody's just living for themselves. It's scary, because we can't all do things ourselves. And if you can't even trust, you know, the people near to you, or you can't even trust that a human being, just because you're a human being, not because you're a brother or sister, just because you're a human being, just somebody would do the right thing. This is why I advocate Christ, because Christ will not allow me to sit and do nothing, watch friends and people around me, and just general people with so much potential live their lives in such a way which shows lack of character, lack of self-control, lack of understanding, you know, so just ignorance. Yet they have so much potential. But even those with potential, if you don't have the particular characteristics to back it up, it's almost like failure is inevitable, because certain characteristics take you to a higher place. You can be the smartest in the world, but if you're not people smart as well, you're not really going to go far, because we all connect, we all work together. When you seek Christ in your life, honestly, it alleviates hatred, it alleviates discrimination. The principles will not allow you to be selfish. You will look at yourself twice before you humiliate people, before you discriminate, because all of that is within the doctrine, within the principles of Christ. So living a Christ-like lifestyle, not to be able to discriminate and not see everybody as you know, as inferior. You will see everyone as your equal and treat people how you want to be treated, and treat people like human beings as you are. You know, in Philippians 2:5, it says to us, in your relationship with one another, have the same mindset as Christ. So that is a deep quote, and it's very self-explanatory, and it tells you in the doctrine, in the Bible, right, that we should apply Christ to our situations. This is why I strongly ask that we really ask Christ, what would you do? Because at this point, I don't know. I really don't know. How would you want me to handle this, right? Doing that every single day, in every single situation, will help us develop, will help us grow, will help us become more established as better people, and thus reflect our community and a growing nation. My Phillies, I appreciate your love and support and everything. I'll be back in my next video. Please do like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.